Thanks for staying with To The Point. As we speak, the Shiv Sena and BJP couldn't be locked in a more precarious face-off. On test ahead of elections next month is a tried and tested alliance. 48 hours before Amit Shah dashes to Mumbai to hammer out a possible compromise, at least for now, the solution seems supremely elusive. But could the glue between the two allies be much stronger, where the situation is much worse for a younger alliance of the Congress and the NCP? For both parties, this election is a fight for relevance, a fight to even exist.
लोग अगर मेरे ऊपर भरोसा करना चाहते हैं, विश्वास रखना चाहते हैं, तो उसमें बुराई क्या है?
Uddhav Thackeray firing the first salvo in Maharashtra CM race, bearing his chief ministerial ambitions. Soon, all hell broke loose as saffron allies get at war. BJP and Sena locking horns over lion's share of seats and the chief minister's post.
जब भी चुनाव आता है ऐसा क्षण आ ही जाता है कि लगता है कि इस पर या उस पर, लेकिन आज तक तो इस पर ही रहा है, उस पर हुआ नहीं है.
The negotiations are on with the Shiv Sena, which is our trusted alliance partner in Maharashtra. There is a proposal which has been given by the state leadership under the mandate of the central leadership to the Shiv Sena chief, and it's too early to make any comment on that.
In the last polls, BJP contested on 119 seats, leaving 169 assembly seats for the Sena. This time, the BJP wants to contest an equal number of seats, leaving 18 for smaller allies. Sena, which sees the next polls as a do-or-die battle, wants to maximize seats to propel Uddhav Thackeray to CM's post. A fresh formula, which earmarks 145 seats for Sena and 125 for the BJP, has also been mooted, leaving 18 for the allies. But the CM's post still remains a sticking point.
जितने सीटों पर हम नहीं लड़ेंगे, उतने सीटों पर बीजेपी लड़ेगी.
आप जितनी सीटों पर लड़ते आए हैं उसको जोड़ते हैं. बीजेपी जितनी सीटें हैं, वो जो छोटे दल हैं, सब मिलाकर 334 सीट बनती है और 288 सीट है. बाकी सीट क्रिएट की जाएगी, समझौते किए जाएंगे,
डबल सीट ले लेंगे.
As both sides refuse to relent, BJP chief Amit Shah is rushing to Mumbai on Wednesday, hoping to strike a compromise formula acceptable to Sena. The BJP chief's urgency can be understood. A divided Sena-BJP alliance may find it tough to upstage the Congress-NCP combined, battling its own share of alliance trouble.
While the Shiv Sena is in no mood to give in to BJP's demand of extra seats, on the other hand, the NCP too is not willing to settle for anything less than half the seats. With both the alliances bickering over seat sharing, the political situation in Maharashtra politics is poised at an interesting juncture. With Amruta Shedge, Kamlesh Sutar in Mumbai for Headlines Today.
And joining me this evening on debate number 2 here on To The Point is Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, India Today Group, making his debut this evening right here on Headlines Today. Also joining us is Sanjay Jha of the Congress Party, Shaina NC of the BJP, and Bharat Kumar Raut, former MP of the Shiv Sena. Rajdeep, want to come to you first to lay the ground on this. This appears to be, the face-off between the BJP and the Shiv Sena right now, with even Uddhav Thackeray making a comment just a short while ago. It boils down to who is going to get how many seats, and there's an eye fixed firmly on chief ministership in this particular face-off.
Absolutely, Shiv. I think it's very clear that the BJP Shiv Sena is scenting power. But it's not just about power, it's also about who becomes chief minister. And traditionally, it has been worked out that whoever gets more seats at the end of the day will become the chief minister, whoever wins more seats, which is why the real battle is between the BJP and Shiv Sena in terms of who contests how many seats. The BJP is hopeful that if it can contest anything close to what the Shiv Sena is contesting, then its strike rate could be better, because it believes that this election is about Narendra Modi and a wave for Narendra Modi. Bal Thackeray is no longer there.
Yes.
Narendra Modi is the new Hindu Hriday Samrat, and the votes will come for the BJP. That's why the BJP this time is demanding its pound of flesh. It wants many more seats than it had in 2009.
Shaina, if I could come to you, how is this gap going to be bridged?
Yes.
The BJP wants 135, the Sena says 150. This is a gap that appears to be pretty big at this point of time. And Uddhav Thackeray has said that, the alliance has to stay. There's no problem with the alliance itself. But they're still sticking to their ground as far as the numbers are concerned. Like Rajdeep just said, how is that gap going to be bridged, Shaina?
Shiv, let me put this debate into perspective. First, that every alliance has the option to discuss, debate and increase or better his or her own options. Now, 2014 is clearly a testimony to that. I think the number of seats that the Shiv Sena got, they never got during the lifetime of late Balasaheb Thackeray. And it was clearly a mandate for leadership, stability, for Modi ji, good governance, etc. However, if you go back into time, 2009, we fought less seats, still we had 46 MLAs. They fought more seats and they got 44. Now, in this current scenario, are we not entitled to discuss, debate and arrive at a formula that works for everyone? I think we clearly are. The other issues and areas of discomfort, obviously there's going to be a discomfort when you have a certain kind of mention of the tallest leader of your party. Nobody would like that, and least of all
but
the
there's some
cadre.
pretty sharp
Modi
things
ji
being
is not
said.
just a
It
popular
doesn't seem
leader,
like a calm discussion between allies anymore.
No, I think he said what he had to say and he clarified it also today. However, the way forward is a way of dialogue and discussion. There can be commas. It need not necessarily mean a full stop. At the same time, I think this constant debate about who's going to be the chief minister, that is only going to be decided by the public of Maharashtra. Whoever has the larger numbers will clearly stake claim. And I think that it's only fair to say and suggest that speculation and political aspiration is welcome. But at the same time, understand that the core reality is only to defeat the corrupt Congress and NCP, which have shown nothing but misrule for 15 years.
I'm going to come to that in just a bit. I'm going to talk about the NCP and the Congress in just a bit. But Bharat Kumar Rao, Uddhav Thackeray has made very clear statements since Saturday, including at the Mahapanchayat that Aaj Tak held over the weekend as well. Today he put out he made statements to reporters saying there may be an alternative. There's a lot of sort of enigma about what he really meant. Now, Amit Shah is headed to Mumbai just 48 hours from now, where it is widely expected that there will be crucial talks towards some kind of a solution. Is the Shiv Sena willing to back down at all on its current position?
Listen, first let me tell you that I am not standing for Shiva Sena. As I already clarified that I am not standing for, because I am not a spokesman of Shiva Sena. I am a proud former MP of the party.
Yes.
But as of now, today I am sitting here as a political analyst or a journalist.
Please tell us what you think, sir.
Yeah. Now the thing is, why Uddhav Thackeray is saying this? This is because for the first time in 15 years now, Shiva Sena can sense the victory very clearly. And not only Shiva Sena, but BJP and all political pundits and the people at large, they can sense that now the victory of Shiva Sena BJP is at the doorstep. At this stage, somebody will have to lead the party from front. Somebody will have to become the chief minister. At this, since BJP has not come out with any candidate and Shiva Sena is the sole leader, the unchallengeable leader of Shiva Sena is Uddhav Thackeray. Therefore, he has thrown his hat in the field. What is wrong in that? I don't see anything wrong or anything haste. Or if you are in politics, this is not a missionary game. So you are here to run power.
Rajdeep, unlike the NCP and the Congress, does the fact that the BJP Shiv Sena alliance, the fact that they smell victory, they're looking at good things around the corner, is that going to be enough for the both of them to sit across the table and sort this out?
I think so, Shiv. I think power unites. In a strange way, power unites. Absolute power corrupts, but power unites.
Yeah.
And I think both sides know that they need to fight this election together. I think it's interesting that suddenly Bharat Kumar Raut is saying that, becoming the chief minister is what Uddhav Thackeray wants. Because traditionally, the Thackeray's have always believed that they have the remote control. They don't need to be in power. Uddhav Thackeray is breaking with that tradition, which is where the situation has dramatically changed. Until now, the Thackeray's always preferred to have someone else as their potential chief minister candidate. And the other side of it, Shiv, is the BJP has as many as 5 candidates and counting for the chief minister's post, including Nitin Gadkari, who's a union minister. So you have 5 candidates of the BJP on the one side, you have Uddhav Thackeray's taking claim on the other.
Exactly.
So clearly the real battle is now, kaun banega Mukhyamantri?
It's all about kaun banega Mukhyamantri. Amit Shah is headed to Mumbai, in just a couple of days from now. Shaina, NC, Uddhav Thackeray, Sanjay, I'm just coming to you in a moment. Shaina, the simple fact is Uddhav Thackeray has, started saying things even about the Modi wave. He said it's about the allies. Don't shortchange the contribution of the allies in the performance in 2014. Was there a Modi wave in Tamil Nadu and West Bengal and things like that? So he's making no bones about staking claim here. Does that make the BJP uncomfortable?
No, but I think a reality check would also be welcome. I mean, just see the historic victory in 2014, compare it to any previous election since the inception of the Shiv Sena, or for that matter even the BJP. And we can't be foolish to suggest that this was not a vote for Modi ji's good governance formula. So I think that would be highly questionable. Coming to Rajdeep's point that we have 5 options as chief minister, the BJP is a very disciplined cadre. And I don't think there's any question of announcing this is our chief ministerial candidate. We want to first defeat the Congress NCP and come to that bridge. When we come to that point, then our parliamentary board and highest leadership, party president Modi ji, will decide who should be the chief ministerial candidate. So it's not necessary for us to announce. If you all are welcome to speculate.
But China, who's the senior partner? China, who's the senior partner? Is it the BJP or the Shiv Sena? Who is your senior partner today? Who is the senior partner?
We need to even debate about that.
Until today, Shiv Sena was seen. Until today, Shaina, the Shiv Sena was seen as the senior partner. Suddenly, you win an election in May, and it's all changed. Something has clearly changed in the air. In
no, that is not true.
You feel naturally now you're the big brother.
No, that is not true. No, that is not true. But as a party that has emerged in the state, are we not entitled to value our option of being in a position to fight more seats? I think clearly that's a fair to claim. It's based on merit. It's not based on any kind of arrogance. The only area of discomfort is disrespect to our tallest leader, which the party cadre has opined on and everyone has opined on. That is the only area of contention. We are not saying that A, B, C or D has to be the chief minister of the state. We're saying we'll come to that after the elections once we see the results. But right now, at least, let it be a fair playing ground.
Rajdeep, we as journalists love trying to guess what's going on, in a Neta's mind, what they plan to do when they air dash to a certain place for an important meeting. But I'm still going to ask you, when Amit Shah lands in Mumbai day after tomorrow, what's the tonality going to be when he interfaces with the Shiv Sena? What is he going to be looking to sort of come away with after that meeting?
Shiv, the last time that Amit Shah went to Mumbai, the fact is that he was not scheduled to meet Uddhav Thackeray.
Yes.
And Uddhav Thackeray had to actually call up Amit Shah and ask him to come to Matoshri to meet him, which was very unusual. The balance of power, Shiv, has changed. The balance of power clearly is that Amit Shah and Narendra Modi today are flexing their muscles. They believe, and perhaps genuinely, that the victory of 2014 was because of the Modi wave, not because of the Thackerays or the Shiv Sena, and they therefore believe that they have every right to claim the chief minister's chair should they get more seats. So I think Amit Shah will reach out to the Shiv Sena. I think the alliance problems will be solved, but I do believe that it will not be business as usual. I think the balance of power has changed. The BJP will extract its pound of flesh from the Shiv Sena, and let's be honest, Uddhav Thackeray is not Balasaheb Thackeray.
Yes.
Balasaheb Thackeray, all said and done, had a certain charisma, which Uddhav clearly doesn't. And therefore, the BJP believes it can dictate terms to the Shiv Sena.
The balance of power has changed. It's not business as usual. Bharat Kumar Raut, Uddhav Thackeray is not Bal Thackeray. He certainly wouldn't have conceded 21 seats on his own. That in itself speaks loud.
Yeah, I said nobody is like nobody. See, like Amit Shah is not Lal Krishna Advani. So you can't compare things like this. So that comparison is not correct, because Uddhav Thackeray is man of his own. Bala Saheb was a giant personality. He was really the icon. But it doesn't mean, that doesn't reduce Uddhav Thackeray to anything.
Okay.
Uddhav Thackeray is on man of his own. Now one thing only wanted to say is that Shaina, she's a good friend of mine. She's a well-meaning person. I admit all that. If the equations have changed, the balance of power has changed, then why the change of formulas thing, it came up only after the Lok Sabha election result.
No, like Rajdeep said, this is, who is the senior partner? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. Why that shifted only after election? So this is nothing but a lust for power, or perhaps it is opportunistic.
Yeah, okay, in about 48 hours, perhaps there will be a little bit of clarity on, precisely what the state of play is between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. Let's come to the other alliance where things are, sort of remarkably different. Here, Rajdeep, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got the NCP and the Congress fighting for relevance. This is an existential issue. It's not just about, fighting seats. It's about relevance. It's about, avoiding complete annihilation. Sanjay Jha, if I could bring you in on that. Is that what it's about? It's about relevance. It's about staying visible, and that's why the possibility of the NCP and the Congress actually splitting is much more possible. The possibility of fighting for more seats means winning, the possibility of winning more seats. Sanjay.
Shiv, let me just remind you that we have been in government for the last 15 years.
Yes.
And if you look at any indices of social or economic parameters, I think Maharashtra has done remarkably well over the 15 years, notwithstanding a couple of issues that we could have done better on. Having said that, yes, we do recognize the reality
remarkably
that we
well in scams.
It is not a couple of issues,
so
it is a couple of dozen.
Can I speak?
A couple of
dozen.
Let Sanjay finish, please.
Dozens
Can
of
I speak
scams.
without an interruption, please?
Yeah, but we should speak of the facts. You should not speak, you should speak facts.
Mr. Raut, I'll bring you and China in just a moment.
Wait when you have some silence on your program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm delighted. Yeah, so the issue is that we did not do well in the Lok Sabha elections. So obviously, both the parties are working together to look at the potentialities of where the winnability options are stronger and where we have a tougher fight. We're not running away from that reality at all. But the truth is, and I'm very happy to hear all the panelists, including Rajdeep Sardesai, talk about the arrogance of this combine, which looks so frangible and frail already, which believes that they're going to be, their only crisis at the moment is who's going to be the chief minister. Well, I can tell you one thing. I live here in Mumbai. I was here between 1994 and 1999. And I want to tell you on your channel that the people of Mumbai have not forgotten the extortion calls, the gundaism that raged during the Shiv Sena BJP regime. People stopped having marriages in 5-star hotels because they used to get threatening calls to pay up cash money to the BJP Shiv Sena combined.
What about the 70,000
I want to bring in
scam and the other scam?
Can I finish?
Please don't play holier than thou.
Let's just keep this specific.
You cannot, but you cannot
mislead public with false
We're talking about two breaking points
with the way you are
two alliances, two old alliances.
You don't look like a party.
Don't worry about that. You look like a party.
Can I finish?
China and Sanjay, just 1 minute.
Can I finish?
Nobody can hear my question.
Or do I believe that you are not going to be able to anchor this program?
But
Sanjay, just 1 second.
Cannot just
yeah,
go
so
I want to bring in Rajdeep on a specific
incorrect.
question. 1 second. 1 second. Let me bring in Rajdeep on a specific question.
If
Rajdeep,
for the record, I haven't been given a chance to talk by the BJP.
Would you say that the NCP Congress alliance is more at breaking point than the Shiv Sena BJP one?
Can you just repeat that? Because when Shaina and Sanjay were in crosstalk, I didn't hear your question. No. It looks like I'm back on TV, but go ahead, Shiv.
If we've got two, potential divorces between two alliances, can we safely say right now that the NCP Congress, alliance is far closer to breaking point than Shiv Sena BJP?
In a strange way, I would say yes, because as I said, power unites.
Yeah.
And I think what has happened with the NCP Congress alliance on the other hand is, as you rightly said, they're really fighting a battle for relevance, because these two parties really are clutching at straws. Let's be honest, their best case scenario is that they could get about 25 to 30 seats each. It's really as bad as that. Now, in that scenario, what do these two parties do? Do they fight all 288 seats each and thereby at least try to get the maximum number that they can or maximize their gain, or do they go back to old formulas? And there is another problem, Shiv. The fact is, Prithviraj Chavan, all said and done, is seen as a relatively honest leader. Who's the other face that you have on the NCP Congress posters? Ajit Pawar, who is associated with corruption. Now, how are these two parties going to align? What is it that they're going to take to the people of Maharashtra? Let's be clear, 15 years has built a strong anti-incumbency based on the fact that this government hasn't delivered.
Yes.
So they are really faced with, both these parties are faced with a crisis of relevance and perhaps have no choice in a sense but to fight on their own. If they fight unitedly, they will still lose. If they fight divided, they will still lose. That is the crisis facing the Congress-NCP alliance. On the other hand, the BJP-Shiv Sena alliance has the scent of power, which is driving them towards that chief minister's chair, and I think will unite them in the end.
Sanjay, respond, then I'm going to bring in Shaina and Bharat Kumar Raut. Sanjay.
Yeah, okay, hopefully without an interruption. But Shiv, very quickly, I can tell you that the people of Maharashtra have experimented once, and it's a once bitten, twice shy, which is why you have seen 3 successive routes for the Shiv Sena BJP co-arrangement or whatever sorts they have. I want to tell you that people are aware today that the Shiv Sena has people don't know what it stands for other than identity politics. And as far as the BJP is concerned, its communal agenda with the Sakshi Maharaj and Maneka Gandhi and the Yogi Adityanath is pretty palpable in broad daylight. I think it's a toxic combination that the people of Maharashtra will reject, no matter what the hype, no matter what the hoopla, and no matter what even Rajdeep Sardesai believes.
Bharat Kumar Raut, you know, and Sanjay, you know, just to make a quick point, you were talking about how this has become obsessively about chief ministership, you know, but today there's, you know, a fight has sort of broken out between Uddhav Thackeray, you know, a war of words between Uddhav Thackeray and the incumbent chief minister, where one calls the other, you know, says he has the experience of a government clerk. The other says he's got no experience. He's always run away from power. So, you know, this is, the Congress is buying into that whole sort of, you know, that entire theme of chief ministership as well, Sanjay.
Well, I can tell you, Shiv, you can see the bitterness and the animosity between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. We don't have that in the Congress and the NCP. We may be still talking about a few seats under negotiation. Really? But you can see there's a very perceptible bitterness. Look at the language, lust, impotent. That's a language which is being used on a public platform. So I think the people of Maharashtra can see that if you vote for this coalition or arrangement, you're voting for an absolutely fragile structure that is not sustainable. And I think it's pretty much open at the moment, and I don't think there's any mystery about it.
Bharat Kumar Raut?
Yeah, I will take 2 minutes more because I need to clarify 2 points here.
Quickly.
One is, as Sanjay Jha said, if there is no animosity between Congress and NCP for the seat sharing, and there is a very cordial discussion going on in public, the people in Maharashtra, perhaps Sanjay Jha, you would not know all details. For last 10 years have been watching the fight between NCP and Congress when they are sitting in the power. People and journalists like me do not know whether we have one government or 2 governments, and both were working independently. So that is one point. Number 2, there is no, perhaps it will look like that I am standing for Shiv Sena BJP, but I am not. The second issue is not why they are not talking about chief ministership. This is perhaps whether they talk about chief ministership, whether they talk of contesting singularly as a single front or separately. The foregone conclusion is that united they will not stand and divided they will fall. So there is no point in their discussion.
Rajdeep, you know, I want you to bring you in on what Bharat Kumar Raut said. You just respond to what he said. I want to know what you think, and then I have another specific question about the BJP. Rajdeep.
No, I think Bharat Kumar Raut does make sense on the Congress-NCP alliance. Look, I think, you know, every marriage goes through a difficult period, and I think this is the difficult period for the Congress-NCP alliance. The fact is that until Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi return from abroad, I don't think we will even know whether the alliance is going ahead or not. So I think there is the battle over seat sharing will continue. You know, the respective high commands will have to take a call, and I think he's right that divided they fall, even united they fall. So I think it's clear. I know it's difficult to predict an election 1 month in advance, but every indication is that I don't see a dramatic reversal from what happened in May in the state of Maharashtra.
Yes.
Because I think the gap is so high. I mean, the gap was so great in that election. It's not going to be overcome in the space of a few months.
China, has the BJP, the muscle flexing that appears to have been projected in this entire relationship, Amit Shah going to Mumbai, Uddhav Thackeray having to phone him, the balance of power shifting. Has the BJP had to recalibrate after, what has happened in the by-polls? Has, the reverie of 2014, is it in any measure wearing off?
No, I think that's a very inconsequential debate. You have elections where you win, you lose. Tomorrow will be testimony to the point that the magic still continues. Coming to your question, I think there are two things I'd like to say. Number one, we have never had a more corrupt government in the state of Maharashtra. 15 years of misgovernance.
Yes.
Could be the Adarsh scam, could be 70,000 crores of the irrigation scam. Compared to the amount of farmer suicides, compared to all of this, the kind of governance model that we have given at the center has raised the hope in public at large, and that public is hoping to see that same kind of stability and leadership and progress in the state of Maharashtra. I think that yes, opportunities do change. Every political party is in the fray only to better its chances. There is nothing to be apologetic about it. We are not arrogant on our stand. We're willing to discuss and we're willing to arrive at a solution, but keeping in mind that the reality on the grassroots has changed.
Rajdeep, come in.
Now, very simple point to the Shainas of the world. A lot of what you say may perhaps make sense, but the fact is, I think the public of Maharashtra needs to know who is going to be their chief ministerial candidate of this Saffron Alliance. Are you going to the polls in the name of Narendra Modi? Or are you going to the polls in the name of Uddhav Thackeray? The fact is, you gave Maharashtra a disastrous government between 95 and 99. Yes, the Congress NCP has failed, but your government between 95 and 99 was a disaster with a capital D.
May I respond quickly?
Are you going to repeat that experiment? Are you going to tell the people of Maharashtra the kind of government they are going to get? Who is going to be my chief minister if I vote for the BJP Shiv Sena? Don't I have the right to know?
Absolutely you do, and you need to know that all options are excellent, and the options you had in 95 are not even prevalent now. You have a new leadership, you have a young brigade sincere to public life and politics, who's high on integrity, is going to show credibility and is on the path to progress. You take couple names, you take Devendra Fadnavis as the state president, or a Vinod Tadeo, or a Nitin Gadkari, but why do we need to announce it? Let's come to that when the decision is made by the people of Maharashtra as to who they're voting for. Let me tell you that we're a democratic party and we don't just stick to old bandwagons who have not really delivered. We have a political leadership and a youth which is here to stay and which is here to only give great options. So let's wait and watch.
Okay, you're saying so let's wait and watch. Bharat Kumar Rao, what do you make of the BJP's stand on this particular issue? I mean, Shaina NC, Rajdeep says, name the chief ministerial candidate. Is it going to be about going to the polls on the face of Narendra Modi or Uddhav Thackeray? That's a relevant question. Yeah, the elections are next month.
Yeah, listen, this naming the candidate for the leadership, that has been evolved only in the 2014 elections when Narendra Modi's name was declared as the prime ministerial candidate. Yes, before that Advani's name and before that Atal Bihari Vajpayee's name was announced. But in Maharashtra, that has not been the tradition. If you remember, in 1995, when Manohar Joshi became the chief minister after Shiva Sena BJP came to power, till the last minute when the meeting of the
But Mr. Rao, the people of Maharashtra clearly would like to know whose face they're going to be voting for.
No, it is not a question of face. See, we are in a parliamentary democracy. We are not a presidential form. This was a new thing that had come up.
If people in Maharashtra will want the same government at the center and the state.
Sanjay,
that's the important point, because when you have the center and the state being the same, there is a good governance model which can be duplicated and implemented both.
Okay, Sanjay, let me complete.
Quickly, Bharat Kumar Rawat.
Let me complete. Rather, I would say it is the defeat of the basic principle of parliamentary system, where you are supposed, the elected members are supposed to elect their leader by voting or by consensus. Here, if you keep telling them, yes, he is the leader, he is going to the chief minister.
Okay.
Why the elections are required?
Sanjay, you had a point to make quickly. Sanjay.
Yeah, you know, Shiv, a very quick point. I think Uddhav Thackeray is very much aware of what happened to the JDU in Bihar. The BJP grew on the back of JDU, just like how it's grown on the back of Shiv Sena. It had marginal presence in Maharashtra. And the last thing on earth he would like is to see his own importance in a single state of Maharashtra getting absolutely depleted. And that's the reason why you see the huge insecurity between the two parties. But end of the day, I think the people of Maharashtra are going to be a lot more, I think, you know, very perceptive, because this is a state which has a lot to contribute to the national economy. It's a fundamentally one of the strongest states that India has had. So I do believe that the people of Maharashtra will vote with a lot more sanity and with a lot more what I call is engagement than what the BJP and the Shiv Sena expect.
Rajdeep, you know, given the situation for the NCP and the Congress right now, you know, I'm going to go ahead and ask this. Is there anything at all politically for either of these parties to gain in this election, you know, from the current friction between the BJP and the Shiv Sena? Is there anything that can be salvaged?
Let's be honest, I do believe that I think they can do better in a state election than they would in a general election, because they have stronger networks, particularly the NCP in certain parts of Maharashtra. But there is a lot of anger against the government. So I don't see them winning the election under any circumstances. But they could do marginally better, particularly the Shiv Sena. BJP can't get their act together. But Shiv, let me give you a historical context to what is happening. When Pramod Mahajan and Bal Thackeray cemented this alliance in 1988, one of the ideas was a Hindu undivided alliance. The other idea which Pramod Mahajan interestingly had, and he had shared it with some of us many years ago, was that he believed that the post-Bal Thackeray Shiv Sena would be ripe for the plucking of the BJP. That the vote of the Shiv Sena would shift to the BJP once Bal Thackeray was no longer there. And look at what is happening. Pramod Mahajan is no longer there. Bal Thackeray is no longer there. And what is happening is the BJP and Shiv Sena are fighting amongst each other to say who is the party which is now the #1 party of Maharashtra. That's what it's coming down to. And because you have a leader like Narendra Modi now at the center with such a strong majority, the BJP believes that it has the political authority to demand the chief ministership of Maharashtra. That's exactly what's happening at the moment. Uddhav Thackeray clearly doesn't have, as I said, the charisma of a Bal Thackeray to take on the BJP. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi on one side and Uddhav Thackeray on the other. It's a rather uneven battle. And I think Sanjay Jha to an extent is right that you're now going to see the Shiv Sena the BJP muscling in state after state. It's going to demand, perhaps legitimately, that it should call the shots, not allies, not even the Shiv Sena, which in a sense is his oldest ally going back to more than 26 years.
I want Bharat Kumar Rawat and Shaina to, you know, respond to Rajdeep, you know, on the other short question I'm going to ask Rajdeep. Who is likely, I mean, if this is an unequal sort of relationship, Rajdeep, at this point of time, on the back of some of the comments, the very absolute kind of comments, you know, there's no space for maneuver kind of comments we've been seeing from the Shiv Sena, who, in your view, is more likely to back down? Because if there has to be a solution, someone's going to have to back down. Rajdeep.
No, I think it has to be the Shiv Sena which will eventually have to back down. Let's be clear. The balance of power has shifted. You know, what is the Shiv Sena left? Look at Shiv. What is the Shiv Sena left with at the center? The only ministry they've got is heavy industry. That's all that they've got. They don't even have an MOS. Now, this reflects how the balance of power has shifted. And therefore, the BJP believe, let's be clear, the crowds today come to listen to Narendra Modi. I don't think the crowds necessarily come to listen to Uddhav Thackeray. The crowds used to come to listen to a Balasaheb Thackeray. Narendra Modi is the new X factor of Indian politics. And I think the BJP recognizes that. They see this as their moment to strike. If Gopinath Munde was here and had not tragically died a few months ago, Shiv, I believe he would have been a natural contender for chief ministership. The BJP's problem at the moment is they do not have too many credible chief ministerial candidates in terms of the caste equation. Most of their chief ministerial candidates are Brahmins. And that's difficult to reach out to people and say you have a Brahmin candidate as chief minister. my dark horse is Pankaja Munde, the daughter of Gopinath Munde. Don't rule her out as a potential chief ministerial candidate, particularly if the BJP gets more seats. The other dark horse, of course, is Nitin Gadkari, who is now in Delhi, says he doesn't want to move to Mumbai.
Yes.
These are the two candidates I'm looking at from the BJP perspective. From the Shiv Sena, I think Uddhav Thackeray will have to pick up the gauntlet because his party really doesn't have any other credible leader.
Yes.
So Uddhav Thackeray on one side and Nitin Gadkari and Pankaja Munde on the other.
Okay, so those are specific names that we've taken here. Bharat Kumar Raut, the Shiv Sena is fighting above its weight. Whatever compromise formula is hammered out 2 days from now or 3 days from now or later this week or next week will have to be the Shiv Sena backing down. That's the way it is. That's the balance of power.
Why are you, see, I'm not betting for Shiv Sena, but why are you saying that is the words that you are using?
Because there will have to be a compromise, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't we say compromise? Compromise is between two parties. Backing down is only one party. So perhaps they will have the compromise kind of formula. Another thing, let me very clearly tell you as a journalist, this marriage emotionally is broken. Let us be very clear.
Okay.
Emotionally the marriage is broken. But as many marriages in India, they are emotionally broken, but they don't get divorced for obvious issues. So therefore, they are strange bedfellows. But for the election, they will definitely hug each other, embrace each other.
It's an emotionally broken marriage, Shaina.
Yeah.
I think they need some counseling.
I'm amazed at all this kind of terminology. This entire, surely we won't get that from the Congress, Mr. Jha. I think the Congress has to first accept the fact that its boat has completely
we'll give it to you for
sunk.
free.
No, but respond to what Bharat Kumar Raut has said.
Let me respond to the question rather than you
about the balance of power and how it's going to be the Shiv Sena that will back down. And that's why perhaps the BJP is being relatively gracious about this whole thing.
I think that's for our top leadership to decide what our political strategy is and what decision we arrive at. But we're a very disciplined cadre. So whatever the party high command decides, we are willing to fall into line and get to work either ways. The point here is only one. There is an agenda. The agenda is to unite, to defeat the corrupt and defeat the Congress NCP. In that, we stand united completely. Please believe me, I heard Rajdeep talk about caste communities. 2014, if at all, is the only election that shows you that caste community, Brahmins, Marathas, Muslims, all alike have voted for the BJP and have not at all voted on basis of who their leader is vis-a-vis a particular community. So I hope that pattern continues because that's a very healthy change in the democracy.
And what do you think about the two names that Rajdeep took, Shaina?
Teaches us one more thing.
Pankaja Munde, Nitin Gadkari.
Well, I can add 3. Sure, welcome, and we'll add 3 more and we'll show you that all 5 are very, very competent and may the best person win. But that's at a later stage.
Shaina, here I would like to ask,
we only want to say,
Shaina,
if
I'd
you
like
have
to ask one question here. I would like to ask one question to you.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Raut.
Go ahead.
As a journalist, I am asking this question to
one
Shaina.
point very quickly, Shiv.
Yeah.
Sanjay, coming back to you after.
Is it not fearful for the state BJP that all this while, though there is a huge state unit, you have to keep looking at Narendra Modi, who is sitting in Delhi and has the responsibility of the nation, has to come and save you, and you don't have any leader who can do this?
No.
That's a direct question.
Mr. Raut, he is clearly the most popular leader that India has seen.
But why you have to keep talking about him only?
I'm not just talking about our country, even overseas.
But
why shouldn't we talk about him? He's our pride. He is our pride. He is somebody who has risen from the rank and file and has given aspiration to every worker in the BJP.
For that, people
I think we need to be proud about it. And what is wrong in applauding our tallest leadership? I don't think that is anything to talk about, and it's not even a point of argument.
I think we're seeing some of that BJP Shiv Sena friction here in the debate as well. Sanjay, quickly.
Yeah, you know, I think Rajdeep is right that Mr. Modi is an X factor. The only difference is X is spelled as EX. If you look at the last by-election results, you could already see the depleting and fast dissipating impact of the so-called manufactured magic of Mr. Modi. Now, let me make a point here. Let me make a point here. Let me make a point here. This is a state election, And I want to give you an example, Shiv. Take Vidarbha. It's a very crucial state in Maharashtra. Now you have one party which is in favor of a,
it's not a state
Vidarbha
in Maharashtra.
The other which completely opposes that. So end of day, let me tell you that this party is very opportunistic. Both of them are, usually are. And that's how Pramod Mahajan has stitched up that 1994 alliance. That don't forget happened on the back of a communal riot in Mumbai following the serial blasts and the Babri Masjid demolition. I think at this point of time, the people of Maharashtra, Mumbai, all over the state are not going to accept this extremely frangible arrangement, no matter how much of hard sell is being done, either by the state or by Mr. Modi himself in Delhi.
Shaina, I'll let you look at your alliance. Just a moment.
We don't need to hard sell.
Mr. Jha, you should look at your alliance.
Our action speaks for ourselves. We don't need to hard sell. You please look at your own alliance and try to revive that by selling marketing stories.
The tone and tenor of the things that the Congress NCP has been saying about the BJP, Shiv Sena and the whole Modi factor in Maharashtra right now. Several points they make quite similar to what we heard during the 2014 Lok Sabha campaign as well.
Absolutely. I don't think, Shiv, they've learned the lessons from what happened in the 2014 elections. I think, the fact is the Congress is living in denial. The Congress has still not recovered from what went wrong in 2014 general elections. They just don't have. Shaina, fortunately, unlike you, I don't belong to the BJP. Fortunately, unlike Sanjay, I don't belong to the Congress. So I can give it to both of you. The fact is, they are living in denial, and I think somewhere an arrogance of power has crept into the BJP. That's the truth. The BJP believes that it's now walking on water, and the Congress would like to believe that by some miracle things will change over the last few months. Neither is going to happen, Shiv. I don't think there's going to be any miracle that's going to bring the Congress NCP to power. And I think if the BJP Shiv Sena continues to walk on water, then they will be in trouble. We saw what happened in Bihar this time when Nitish and Lalu were intelligent enough to show that arithmetic can sometimes score over chemistry. Look, this election is almost done and dusted. But if the BJP Shiv Sena alliance is going to believe in a certain arrogance of power, believe that they can, just walk into Mantralaya, then I think they are in for a rude shock, because they may well win the election, but they won't win a re-election then. So I think it's important for the BJP Shiv Sena also to be a little humble about what's happening around them. And I think it's time that the Sanjay Jhas of the world and the Congress of the world came out of their self-imposed denial mode and started smelling the coffee, and the coffee should tell them that guys, it's time to get your act together to try and see what you can provide the people of Maharashtra. What is it that you're going to tell the people of Maharashtra? Why should I be voting for the Congress NCP alliance?
Sanjay,
simply discount it. Modi is a factor. Let's be clear. Modi is a factor at the moment. He has managed to successfully make himself a factor in states like Maharashtra.
Sanjay, respond to that also. Is the Congress going to have any kind of a fresher message now? Because the sense is many of the things you've said have been said before and, proven to fall on their face during the 2014 campaign. And many of the things being said right now by the Congress appear to be, those tried and tested sort of formulas which failed.
Well, Shiv, let me tell you, I can debate with you. You'll have to have a separate program to look at what's happened to Maharashtra. But whether you look at industrial growth, agricultural productivity, foreign direct investment, employment, on multiple criteria of infant mortality. There have been issues. I'm not going to deny that. In 15 years, you are going to have a challenge in a state which has gone through a major transformation, and India has seen a lot of change as well. So to say, if I were to come on your program and tell you that everything is hunky-dory, the answer is no. But on several of the parameters on which, let's say, for example, everybody sold the Gujarat model, I think Maharashtra beats Gujarat on literally most of them, almost 80% of them. So let's try and make a fair evaluation on common yardsticks.
Only for you,
Maharashtra,
Mr. Jha.
I think, has developed. I think the problem, Shiv, has been that like in the center till the 2014, I think even in Maharashtra, our whole marketing and communications was never a strong point. I think, but better late than never, we have learnt our lessons, and I think we are out there in the middle today, trying to get this message out to the people of Maharashtra.
Shaina, coming quickly.
We are very confident. We are very confident that we should be able to make a significant impact. There is still a long way to go. If 1 week is a long week in politics, we are confident that 5 weeks will be enough for us to try and definitely create a very positive impression.
Shaina?
Shaina, before Shaina starts, can I take your leave because I have to go on another channel?
They can constantly believe that Gujarat is a state which is behind Maharashtra. Please get real. Maharashtra was the #1 state in the country. Look at the condition today. I'm not just talking figuratively. Irrigation, the statistics are
We're getting into specific campaign points now.
I mean, it's crazy. Let me get into that later on another occasion. But I just want to re-endorse what Rajdeep said, which is, clearly, there could be a shift in the balance in terms of equations, but there is no arrogance in power. Our only area of discord has been the terminology vis-a-vis our tallest leader, which I think we're entitled to, and that's the beauty of a democracy. When it comes to a final solution I think that every party has a legitimate claim, and a legitimate claim based on merit cannot be viewed as arrogance.
Is the BJP going to continue to walk on water? Are the NCP and the Congress going to find a way to exploit the friction between the BJP and the Shiv Sena? We'll have to see. Just 5 weeks to go for that big Maha-election in Maharashtra. Rajdeep Sardesai, Shaina NC, Sanjay Jha and Bharat Kumar Rao. Thanks very much for joining us on debate number 2 on To The Point this evening. That's going to be our big political focus all through the next 5 weeks as we cover politics in a big way here on Headlines Today. Thanks for joining us on this particular debate.